Ladies and gentlemen, leaders and fighters for freedom and liberty and the American dream, the best is yet to come. All of us in this room have one message to Joe Biden. It is time to put America first. I think really this is just like an American frontier again. We're going Wild West. We're going to take it all back.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Ah! Hey!
I said,
like and subscribe, or someone might get teabagged.
Come on, do it now!
So we're going to haul witnesses in here today and claim that they did not comply with subpoenas or requests. And that request is so rich because it's coming from a chairman who himself did not comply with the January 6 committee's request. So May 31, you see a letter sent to then Representative Jordan asking that he honor his subpoena. He was asked over and over and over, you were a witness to a crime. You were a witness to the greatest crime ever committed with the most criminals ever indicted in America. Will you help your country? Will you comply with that subpoena? No compliance, crickets, absolute defiance of the subpoena.
you got the government saying your terms of service, which don't have to comply with the First Amendment, but the government saying we don't think these accounts comply with your terms of service, please take them down.
I believe that political operatives who sought to inject explosive disinformation with the Washington Post couldn't get away with it. So they've dragged a social media platform here in Congress. They're weaponizing the use of this committee, a whole hearing about a 24-hour hiccup in a right-wing political operation. That is why we are here right now. We could be talking about healthcare. We could be talking about bringing down the cost of prescription drugs. We could be talking about abortion rights, civil rights, voting rights.
My team, Ray, made the recommendation that for the first time we find Donald Trump in violation of Twitter's policies and use the public interest interstitial.
So Twitter changed their own policy after the president violated it in order to potentially accommodate his tweet?
Yes.
So much for bias against right wing on Twitter.
Is President Biden woke?
So let me tell you what the president cares about and what's important to this president. The president doesn't concern himself about what Republicans are trying to do in creating political stunts, in making an issue out of the things that they feel benefits them politically, not the American people, not what matters to the American people, but what benefits them politically for their own ability to move forward.
And so I wanted to read up on Hunter Biden, learn a little more about it. Officers filed a narcotics offense report listing items seized in the car, including a plastic bag containing white powdery substance and Hunter Biden's driver's license. That is what we would call evidence. But it's a little hard to believe that Burisma hired Hunter Biden to resolve their international disputes when he could not resolve his own dispute with Hertz rental car over leaving cocaine and a crack pipe in the car.
I would say that the pot calling the kettle black is not something that we should do. I don't know what members, if any, have had any problems with substance abuse, been busted in DUI. I don't know. But if I did, I wouldn't raise it against anyone on this committee. I don't think it's proper.
For many folks around the country who might only watch far-right media or just listen to even some of the folks on this committee, I'm curious, Chief Chavez, when President Biden took office, did your agent stop enforcing the border and just allow everybody to come in, thus creating what we hear here is an open border? Did that happen when the president took office?
Sure. Thank you for your question. The answer is no, sir.
Okay,
we continue to enforce policy and laws.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Chief Modlin, when President Biden took office, did the border just open and did y'all stop enforcing your policies?
Also, thank you for your question, sir. I can tell you this is the 5th administration I've worked for, starting with the Clinton administration, and Border Patrol agents do their job every day.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Look, as y'all probably realize by now, a lot of these hearings are not really about solutions. They're about politics. And for me, I believe solutions must be rooted in facts.
We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights.
We continue to call Fox News Fox News. They are not a news organization. They are an absolute propaganda machine.
The president, as you may have heard, believes the election was stolen from him.
Tucker Carlson mostly tells the truth when he thinks he's communicating privately inside Fox.
I urge Fox News to order Carlson to cease propagating the big lie on his network and to level with their viewers about the truth. The truth.
Trump obviously didn't read the news because here's his latest post on Truth Social after that Tucker news broke. Great job by Tucker Carlson tonight, because if there's one thing that the world's most fragile ego will appreciate, it's knowing that he just complimented the guy who we all know shit all over him.
The conversation continues. Referring to Trump, Carlson says, "I hate him passionately. I can't handle much more of this."
Of course, Greg, Devolder Organizations was founded in 2001 when I stepped away from my previous employment, and I decided to go on my own to do exactly what I did for other companies for years, which is capital introduction relationship.
Check under your seats. If there happens to be a gold chocolate bar underneath there, that's a VIP. Oh, I'm not joking. That's a VIP ticket.
What is this, Wonka? Some kind of fun house?
Why, having fun?
So who's got gold bars? There's one. Another. You're a lucky man, sir. Any more? They may do some more. Look at that, another one there. Well, I think you guys will have an awesome time. Yep. There's people gaming the system. What are you, Democrats? You're trying to get under other seats? Well, I guess there must have been something with the lighting, but they started doing this trending thing. Donald Trump Jr.'s on cocaine and all that. I said, no. You have me confused with Hunter Biden.
Murdoch, you've deemed Trump's not going to be president. Well, we've deemed that you're not going to have a network because we're going to fight you every step of the way.
It's all to support President Trump and what President Trump's trying to do to get a physical barrier on the southern border.
They don't respect you. Read the depositions. The deposition, they have a fear, a loathing, and contempt for you.
Prosecutors say the 66-year-old, along with 3 others, raised more than $25 million.
What Trump is up against, he's not up against DeSantis or Nikki Haley or Mike Pompeo. He's up against Ken Griffin and Mitch McConnell and Murdoch.
He was arrested off the coast of Connecticut aboard a 150-foot yacht he does not own, where he was drinking coffee and reading a book.
All they are is about money.
Bannon is accused of taking nearly $1 million of that campaign to fund his own lavish lifestyle.
And the only people can stop him on the face of the earth are you, and you. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA.
The gentlelady was making a grammatical error that I heard some of her colleagues make before. I believe she referred to a Democrat solution. I heard another member talk about a Democrat member and a Democrat plan. I just wanted to educate our distinguished colleagues that Democrat is the noun. When you use it as an adjective, you say the Democratic member or the Democratic solution or the Democratic plan. And so I assume it's a good faith grammatical error the first few times. But after people are corrected several times and they continue to say it, it seems like it's an act of incivility, as if every time we mentioned the other party, it just came out with a kind of political speech impediment like, oh, the Banana Republican Party, as if we were to say that every time we mentioned the Banana Republican member or the Banana Republican plan or the Banana Republican Conference. But we wouldn't do that.
Well, it's interesting because we had started the meeting. She came in late. She purposely sat next to me because she wanted to get her social media hits.
Of course.
Gabe, I do not consider you an expert on this issue. As a matter of fact, I consider you a major problem. For you to say there were no dead voters in Georgia, there was thousands of dead voters in Georgia. And then the other thing is you have constantly shilled for this election, and I'm going to tell you, there was blatant outright fraud in the 2020 election, complete and total fraud, and you know it. You absolutely do know it. And I'm going to follow up with one more thing. Trump won Georgia. I know you don't like for me to say that, but I am convinced that he did.
a few months ago about Marjorie Taylor Greene modifying her more loony positions. Here she was saying this stuff to your face for which she has no evidence whatsoever and a body of counter evidence that is factual. As a loyal Republican, does it concern you that a member of the House Election Integrity Caucus, no less, is perpetuating these lies still?
McClintock said, well, it's not like we're going to invite somebody who committed murder.
Nobody who committed murder is going to be. Well, then you should vote for the amendment.
No, he literally said that. It's not like we're going to invite somebody who committed murder. Okay, well, who did Mr. Gates bring? He brought Corey Beekman. Corey Beekman in 2019 was in a standoff with the Michigan police after he was arrested and charged with murder, assault with intent to commit murder, and 2 counts of felony firearm possession. That's why there's a trust deficit here. You pull off a public stunt to try and own the libs, and what you did was you brought in a guy who allegedly shot 2 people and killed one of them. That's where the trust deficit is. So you can play your games, conduct your stunts. We're here to get shit done.
I'm very consistent. I'm a very stable genius.
I saw Trump said he could close that in 24 hours if he wanted to. Do you think he could?
I alone can fix it.
I have no idea. I mean, he couldn't build a border wall.
Vicente Fox, he said today, and I'm quoting him, he said, I'm not going to pay for that, quote, effing wall.
In 4 years, so, there is a gap between promises and delivery with all politicians, very much including him.
I do it because I have a good memory, because I'm cognitively there.
Referring to Trump, Carlson says, I hate him passionately. I can't handle much more of this.
One of the great memories of all time.
I will say, in Trump's defense, and maybe because he's a little bit autistic,
I went to an Ivy League college. I was a nice student. I did very well. I'm a very intelligent person.